It is a 300th video spectacular, and today we are looking at the Uncanny Excellent Men 194, which is the third appearance of Nimrod. You know, Nimrod off of my name. But honestly, it's more like the first appearance of Nimrod, because it's the first time he actually does out, or is like the main story. This is by Christopher Claremont, who I didn't like, and it has got art by Junior. This is a great cover. Nimrod, he has done beat up the Juggernaut, and Rouge, she has absorbed like the Smurf and Steelman's powers, and she's fighting Nimrod. As much as I like this cover, there's also the cover for the reprint, and I think this is brilliant as well. One thing that this does better than the main cover is that it features the whole team instead of just Rouge. Of course though, Rouge, she is a Christopher Claremont female character, and he is obsessed with them, and this issue is full of Rouge fan fiction. But a big set piece of this issue, as both the covers showed, is a big fight between Nimrod and Juggernaut. There he is there, Juggernaut. I like this splash page here. It's simple and direct. Juggernaut out of costume. We get a recap here of Juggernaut's history, like a quick little catch-up, his first appearance, when he fought the Hulk, when he fought Spider-Man. Just handy little catch-up, really. And some people have pointed out the hypocrisy of me slamming Christopher Claremont and saying that I hate him and his whole run on Excellent Men, when I am named after one of his characters. I am very aware of that. As this video will prove though, I am not entirely biased against all things Christopher Claremont. I just hate almost everything he has ever done. Actually, if you go back and watch some of my videos, my art reviews, there are issues. I have given positive reviews for Claremont comics. I've nearly always had the same criticisms, but I think all the Mark Stanley Lee ones that I have reviewed, they were mostly positive, and even I think my 200th video, which was the issue before this, that one was mostly bordering on the side of praise. Now, to perfectly exemplify exactly what I hear about Christopher Claremont, we have the mandatory obsession with Storms. At this point, Storms doesn't have any powers, and she has left the team, but she's still treated like the main focus of the book. Next issue, or the issue after, that is like an entirely Storm story. It's awful, and I won't be reviewing that one. This one is of note, I suppose, because here, this is the first appearance of the Ferris twins. And this one here, the one who is not a woman, he goes on to become Swordman in Thunderbars. This is his first appearance. It is awful though. Would you have guessed the blonde-haired white guy, he gets rapey with a woman, and then he's racist towards Storms, and then he gets his arse kicked by Storms, a depowered Storms. She's able to easily defeat a bunch of mercenaries all at once in unarmed combat. And look, like even down here, even the knife she throws at the sister, well, right, she's in the middle of a fight with Swordman, well, the guy who will become Swordman, and she just casually throws a dagger, and it hits exactly where she intended to hit it. It's fucking ridiculous. And then the poor would-be rape victim gets down on her knees and worships the goddess fucking... This is awful, awful, awful shite. This is diabolical. I despise this. Can we just take Storms away from comics and never have her in them ever again? But then we get onto a good comic. Juggernaut, he has gone to the bank, and the Excellent Men, they have followed him, they're spying on him. And then Nimrod shows up to kill Juggernaut. Does this look familiar? Does it look familiar, that image right there? Nimrod's face? Does it look familiar? Sorry if it doesn't. I love Nimrod, and the reason I love him is because he is a simple idea. He's a really simple idea. I mean, at its core, it is just Christopher Clairvoyant doing something he always did, which is just flat out ripping off a film that he had seen that week. In this case, he's flat out ripping off the Terrorizer. But I think that Junior's design, which again is simple, it works to really differentiate it from the Terrorizer. And I just love this idea, this simple idea of a big, unstoppable, brutal pink robot that guns around and fucks shit up. We have got a really good fight here between Juggernaut and Nimrod. You could argue that this is just writing Nimrod up at the expense of Juggernaut, but I honestly didn't mind it. It's just a fantastic fight. Nimrod and Juggernaut, it's brilliant. Then the Excellent Men get involved, and it quickly gets a bit shitty. It's still fine, but I start to recognise all the Christopher Clairvoyantian stuff rearing its head. Like, immediately, all female members of the team are quickly removed from the battlefield. They're defeated and knocked out straight away. Smurf and Steelman, they only get one panel and they just get blasted away. Of course, while all this is going on, we've still got Juggernaut fighting him and getting his arse handed to him, basically. But what Christopher Clairvoyant is always more interested in showing is how efficient, overpowered, perfect women are. Buffy Pride, she finds out Nimrod is a robot, and she knows how to stop him straight away because she likes computers. But this is during the period where Christopher Clairvoyant's little pet project was Rouge. You've seen it in issue 192, which I reviewed. That one was just all about Rouge. It wasn't even subtle. Here she absorbs the powers of all the knocked out men, and she uses them to fight Nimrod. There was actually a variant cover, I think a second printing variant for an Excellent Men comic from about 2008, 2009 maybe, where this version of Rouge, like this costume, this exact costume, this look, with the Smurf's powers and Steelman's powers, the variant cover, it was just an image of this. She was like flying there. If anyone knows what issue that was, can you comment down below, because I want to track it down and get it. The variant cover anyway, I might actually have the main version of the comic. I think it was like interior art that they repurposed for the second printing variant. It was just like her, she was centered, she was flying, she looked just like this. I think it was about the time when she took over Excellent Men Legacies, that book. But yeah, of course, she's able to cripple and defeat Nimrod in the space of a page. She did the exact same thing in issue 192. She pulled the Boar Queen's arm off, just like she pulls Nimrod's arm off here, and defeats them in a single page. Rubbish writer, this. Nimrod, he reforms and he teleports away. Juggernaut, Rouge lets him leave because he hadn't done anything wrong this time. Even though at the start on the news it was saying that he was a wanted criminal and he just like robbed a bank or something. Then we have got some of Christopher Clairvoyant's rubbish long-term plotting with some bland, personality-less ciphers. Conceptually, I love this issue, and the main part of this issue is good. It's just that it's surrounded by the same art Christopher Clairvoyant dross. I really do have a soft spot for this issue. At the same time as this, there was also a Spider-Man team-up story written by Lewis Simons with Juggernaut. He was in that as well. So it was this version of the team, this lineup, except Cannonballs, he was there as well. And then in this book, the Nimrod stuff and the Juggernaut stuff, as much as I didn't like Christopher Clairvoyant, the stuff with these two characters for the next stretch of issues is where I feel he was at least offering some enjoyable bits. With that said, there's still some fucking atrocious shite that I won't be reviewing. Like that issue, I think it's the next issue or the issue after. The cover is just fucking storms in a desert and fog is there. It looks like a cancer movie. But I'm rating this issue a strong female 7 thumbs up.